Hello everyone, we welcome you all to our new video, Non-Payment of Tax by Supplier, a reason for denial of input tax credit under GST regime. Seamless flow of credit was the intended objective behind the enactment of GST regime. Now with this objective, the GST regime was put into place from July 1, 2017 onwards. With 3.5 years down the line, we understand that most of the concerns that were there in claim of input tax credits have been resolved. However, there are certain provisions which are pulling the intended objective back, one of which is Section 16(2)(c), that is payment of tax by supplier as an essential condition for claiming of input tax credit. With this background, we'll be covering the following contents in today's video. Firstly, the statutory provision put in place for this purpose. Secondly, there are certain challenges which are pending before the constitutional courts. Thirdly, there are certain past bad jurisprudence on the subject matter because these provisions were also prevalent in the past laws and they were also dealt by the constitutional courts. Fourthly, the grounds of challenge that we believe that are there existing under the GST laws as well. And lastly, the recent amendments that have been put into place and the impact thereof in the current situation of Section 16(2)(c). To set the context right, it is important to highlight the statutory provisions which have been put into place under the GST regime which allow the claim of input tax credit under GST. Section 16 of the CGST Act forms the code which provides for claim of input tax credit and prescribes certain conditions which are important to be fulfilled by a taxpayer in order to claim certain input tax credits. First of the conditions is the said supplies shall be used or intended to be used in course or furtherance of business. Secondly, the taxpayer must be in a position of a tax invoice. Thirdly, the taxpayer must have received those goods and services which have been supplied by the supplier. Fourthly, the tax charged on supply is actually paid to the government's kitty. And lastly, the returns must have been furnished under Section 39 of the CGST Act. Now, one of the most important conditions and also the point of contention in the instant video is the tax charged on supply is actually paid to the government or not, is a condition that has been prescribed under Section 16, which has been hovering the industry at large and are also failing the intended objective of the GST regime. Now, what does this condition mean essentially? It means that once on a supply I have discharged the tax or I have paid the tax to my supplier, whether or not he has submitted to the government is something which has to be ascertained by me, or the law prescribes the liability upon me that I shall ascertain that, and only based upon that I shall claim the credit. Now this prima facie, this condition appears to be regressive and does not really allows or falls in line with the intended objective of seamless flow of credit under GST, because this condition is an impossible condition for a taxpayer to ascertain whether their supplier have paid the taxes or not. To highlight, there have been certain changes on the GST common portal which are also highlighting that my supplier has filed the return. However, it never says or it never allows me to ascertain whether they have paid the taxes over my supply or over the invoices that have been raised to me. Having said that, as also because of the unreasonable condition that has been imposed under Section 16(2)(c), the same is now a subject matter of challenge before various constitutional courts across the country. Some of the examples are given over here. Bharti Telemedia is one of the cases which is pending before the Delhi High Court. LGW Industries and Surya Alloy is pending before Calcutta High Court. Vij Energy Engineers and Consultants is pending before Punjab and Haryana High Court. And then Instacart Services is pending before Karnataka High Court. This is not the exhaustive list. The list is in large number, the matters are in large number, and they are also currently pending before the respective courts, and no decision has been taken as of yet. To apprise you all, VAT laws had a similar condition which required that a taxpayer shall claim input tax credit based on payment of tax by a supplier. Now this condition itself was a subject matter of challenge before various courts, and which decided the issue either in favor of the taxpayer or against the taxpayers. Now, these are the list of the high courts which have decided the issue in favor of the taxpayers. The grounds that have been adopted in such cases are such that law cannot expect taxpayer to do an impossible task. This ascertaining whether my supplier has paid taxes or not is something which is an impossible task, and law cannot impose liability on the recipient of the supply. Law fastens liability to pay tax on supplier. All the indirect tax laws fastens the liability upon supplier itself. The liability is to collect the tax from the recipient and pay it to the government kitties. Lastly, the liability can only be fastened upon fraudulent taxpayers and no one else. So there has to be a discrimination, or in fact distinguish between a mila fide taxpayer and a bona fide taxpayer. To the contrary, the Maharashtra High Court was not in favor of allowing the benefit to the taxpayers and have held contrary to all the jurisprudences in favor of the taxpayers as discussed in previous slide. The Maharashtra High Court has adopted the following ground, that is, right to set off is a statutory right and law can prescribe conditions for claiming upon of the same. And lastly, that the condition imposed is reasonable and is backed by legislative competence. Therefore, the legislature has rightly enacted that condition and it shall prevail. It is interesting to note that the judgment of the Delhi High Court was challenged by the revenue before the Supreme Court, as also the judgment of the Maharashtra High Court was challenged before the Supreme Court. Both of these special leave petitions were dismissed, and now there is no clarity under the previous laws as well whether a taxpayer, whether this condition is right or not, or whether the taxpayer shall claim the same credit without the supplier being paying the tax to the government kitty or not. Having gone through the statutory provisions under GST law, VAT laws, and the past jurisprudence existing under the VAT laws, the condition under section 16(2)(c) can be subjected to a challenge before constitutional courts on following grounds. First, the law treats defaulting and bona fide recipients at par, which is violative of Article 14. So in the instant case or in the eventuality of section 16(2)(c) being applicable under the GST regime, all the taxpayers, even the tax evaders or the bona fide taxpayers, have been put on to same footing, which is essentially violating the principles under Article 14 of the Constitution. Moving on, there are several avenues available under the statute itself to collect tax from defaulters, like section 63, section 74, which provide for recovery of taxes which have been evaded by the taxpayers or defaulters, which can be recovered as per the procedures laid down under section 73 and 74. Further, the condition imposed under section 16(2)(c) is essentially an impossible condition to perform, and it cannot, like law cannot compel a person to do an impossible task. Whether I, or as a taxpayer who has already deposited or has paid the tax charge on my supply that I have received from my supplier, I have paid that, and even then the taxpayer or the supplier is not depositing it to the government, it cannot ever be traced by a recipient of supply, and therefore this condition is impossible to perform, and therefore there can be no legal obligations put on to place on a bona fide taxpayer. Moving on, section 73 imposes burden on person chargeable with tax and not recipient of the tax, except on certain situations where the supply is guided by reverse charge mechanism. So when there is a mechanism under section 73 which has been put into place, and the supplier has been made the person liable to pay tax, or a person from whom the tax can be recovered in case of short payment or evasions, then in such a scenario, putting into place section 16(2)(c) is arbitrary and unconstitutional, and therefore violative of Article 14 and 19(1)(g). Having gone through the statutory provisions, the grounds of challenge, and the past jurisprudence on the subject matter, the intent of the government is reflected loud and clear that they wish to allow the input tax credit to a recipient of supply only based upon filing or depositing the tax to the government kitty by the supplier of the said supply. Now, the intent is also clear from the recent proposal in Finance Bill 2021, which says, or in fact inserts one more condition under section 16(2), that the supplier must file the invoices and debit notes under GSTR 21, or maybe it furnishes the details of the invoices and debit notes in GSTR 21. And once the same is communicated to the recipient, only then the recipient will be allowed to claim the input tax credit on such supplies. Thus, what happens to the fate of Rule 36.4? 36.4 initially provided for certain relaxations in form of 120%, later on 110% or 105%, but we believe that post insertion of this provision, the condition specifically on section 16.2, the fate of Rule 36.4 will be that it will be amended and maybe omitted in future, and there will be no relaxations which will be provided by the government. Having said that, we now completely depend upon the rulings that will be passed by the high courts in coming future on several writ petitions that have been filed before them and are pending for their adjudication. That's all from our side. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.